All right, with us now is the former president of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko. Mr. President, thank you so much for being with us. You've spoken a lot over the last few weeks about the need for a ceasefire before any further discussions with Russia. President Trump has taken that off the table, now saying a ceasefire is not important before a larger peace deal. Why do you feel a ceasefire is so important?
Because Putin, and I have this exactly experience in year 2014, 2015, when we discussing Minsk agreement, this is the most clear message how to stop the war. Ceasefire you can make immediately within very short period of time. Ceasefire means stop killing Ukrainian innocent civilian citizens. Ceasefire means stop losing time. Ceasefire is an extremely important step for launching the peace process. And Putin want to have a blah, blah, blah about peace process because he could continue without any limits the war. Putin is feeded by the war. And with that situation, I definitely count on President Trump because President Trump is a deal maker. And unfortunately, Putin is a troublemaker. And it's very difficult to negotiate peace when every single hour you have missiles on your head. When this night we have people killed in Kharkiv, in Odessa, attack on Kiev, this is not a position for providing this ceasefire.
So
what do you think?
What do you think, Mr. President? What do you think then of President Trump taking the ceasefire off the table? What do you think of President Trump no longer demanding that ceasefire?
First of all, nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. And with that situation, I have absolutely positive experience how to work with President Trump for 3 years during my presidential term. And I just want to remind that during my term, me together with Trump issued so-called Crimea Declaration. And that was issued by the State Department of the United States under the instruction of President Trump. And when we have this declaration, original is in my office. And we have a signature that United States never recognized occupied Crimea as a Russian territory. This creates absolutely dangerous precedent. But you cannot find any other nation in the world who wants peace more than we, Ukraine. And today we're keeping fingers crossed and praying that we have a success in the White House. We cannot allow anymore the catastrophe on the 28th of February in the Oval Office when they tried to undermine the trust between Ukraine and United States. That's why it's so important. And I'm absolutely count that the position of Ukraine can be listening, and I can give you within 1 minute. So on contrary, the territorial swap is off the table. And we should protect not only Ukrainian land or Ukrainian borders, 1991 territory. We should protect Ukraine as a free and democratic country. We should protect our armed forces, who is protecting peace and security in Europe. We should protect in our language and our national identity. And we should protect our faith because Putin attacked even our church. And with this situation, we should keep the door to NATO and the door to European Union open, not accepting any blackmail from Putin.
Well, you know, overnight, President Trump said that Crimea is not part of this discussion and that NATO should not be part of this discussion. So two of the things that you deem important, he just took off the table.
No. I'm ready to say that Crimea and NATO is not the part of discussion today. Because today, the most important part of the discussion is a ceasefire. But we never rejected from Crimea, we never accepted the NATO. But that would be the future negotiation point, and because of the fact that this is definitely in our constitution, this is important. And another things you should understand. So this is not the opinion of President Zelensky or President Poroshenko. Ukrainian people never accept the situation with the Crimea land swap. And that means that Putin, and this is the Putin who insists on that, Putin wants to bring to our country chaos, because he don't need territory of Donetsk and Lugansk, he needs whole of Ukraine. And the only way how he can receive this Ukraine is chaos, and that help him to bring pro-Kremlin government, which is impossible.
Let me very quickly.
I do not understand that.
We heard from Steve Witkoff over the weekend suggesting, again, some kind of a land swap might be discussed in Donetsk. If Vladimir Putin were to provide guarantees that he would not invade further in exchange for that all of Donbass, all of Donetsk, would you trust him? Would you trust the promises from Vladimir Putin?
First of all, from all my experience, please don't trust Putin. Second, don't be afraid of Putin. And third, I have, as a president of Ukraine, I have a security guarantee in form of Budapest Memorandum. This is not working. Any other security guarantee except of the binding, this is the unacceptable. And the only, after Putin and Russia, permanent member of Security Council, United Nations, attack us, this is ruin all post-war security system. And the only guarantee which exists in this world is a NATO membership. But until we will not be waiting for the opening door of NATO, we accept Finnish type of security guarantee. That would be Article 5 until we become a member. This is absolutely binding, this is absolutely effective, and we will discuss it after ceasefire when we'll be prepared the peace agreement. And this is the only way how we can stop the war. This is the only way how we can save the world, save the peace. And Putin knows that, everybody knows that, and he simply do not want to stop the war. And as a fact, when Putin do not accept this condition, should be Trump plan B, with more weapons, more money, defreezing the Russian assets, not accepting the blackmail of Putin for NATO and EU membership, and make impossible for Putin to finance the war. War against Ukraine, war against Europe, war against the United States, which has already happened, unfortunately.
Former Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, I know you'll be watching this very closely today. It does seem, what we've been hearing from President Trump, very different from the things you would like to see coming out of this meeting. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Kate?